Hey there, welcome to Coffee Solo for this Monday morning. It's 9:25 in the morning on Monday, June 9, 2025. So it's episode 2025-060901. You don't even need to deal with that, but it does help with ordering episodes alphabetically. Anyway, I wanted to take a moment to record an episode since I don't normally have this opportunity with my weekly programs to record the same program to compare the next day. But here, Coffee Solo, we have no schedule, so this was a piece of cake. And since I did mention it last night, I thought, already remembering the impact this little thing has on my ability to speak, the ability for my voice to function. So hopefully you can hear a difference. I can feel a difference when I'm speaking, and hopefully you can hear a difference. This is only one day. Normally I would do the thing daily, sometimes twice each day, morning and night. So this is really just the initial impact of getting back into this regular schedule, which I clearly need to do. So an episode less than a day later about the impressive impact a little saline can have, and more. Not just a little bit more. This is not going to be a full-on hour or anything. I do have an affiliate link, however, in the links section for this episode, and I'll probably place it on my buymeacoffee.com/DanHugo profile, which is also in the links. I recorded also the Buy Me an Update episode for this morning. I believe it just automatically published 30 minutes ago. I recorded that last night, and I believe my voice actually got worse since I recorded it after Coffee Solo. Anyway, what am I talking about? So the Nasal Fresh. This is not a commercial for the product, even though I do have an affiliate link on there. This is just me saying what has ended up working for me. Strangely, I have heard or seen, I suppose, on YouTube, some comedians, stand-up comedians, have said that they use neti pots frequently. So if you're not familiar, a neti pot is literally a pour, looks like a little teapot, sort of. It's a pot for pouring water into your nose, and it flows into your sinuses, and it flows. So you flow it in through one nostril, and it flows out the other nostril, which should be categorized as a magic trick of some sort, I suppose. But what happens is it goes and flushes out your sinuses, because who knows what can accumulate there. And as I've mentioned, the allergy seasons here in Vegas are upon us. They're certainly upon me. So when my voice is really getting tight, it's really my sinuses and all of the products that are a result of my irritated sinuses. And then occasionally I will have a sinus infection. It's mild. It's not necessarily painful, although it does lead to sinus headaches occasionally. But I got the Nasal Fresh MD. I got it through Amazon. I think you can also get it through their main website. But hey, I have an Amazon affiliate account, so why not? So I got it, and it was the same exact price. If you have Prime, it's free shipping and all that. The affiliate link adds nothing to the cost, so hey, why not? So the Nasal Fresh is literally an active neti pot. So where neti pots are generally, so where neti pots are, to a little pause there, where neti pots are gravity fed, and that's okay. Nasal Fresh is a pumped saline, water, whatever you put in it. So it'll pump the water into one nostril, and then it will draw it out the other. So there's two, you kind of hold it up to your nose, press it into your nostrils, and then water will be pumped into one, and it will be drawn out through the other. These little kind of funky shaped, I think it's silicone, probably medical silicone. They're just little fittings. They fit into your nostrils. You press it against your nose a little bit to make a nice little seal. So it's literally drawing the water out. I'm not going to say sucking it out. It doesn't feel like a sucking sensation, but it is pulling the water out of your nose, out of your sinuses, right? So it's going in one, out the other. I when I first got this, I was suffering at the time. I was suffering from an actual sinus infection, so it was daily sinus headaches, and of course, my voice would vary all over the place. Sometimes it would be really, really awful. It just sounded like, and it felt like it was painful to speak. Not painful like ouch, but like it was just extra work, and it was frustrating. And you can hear what that sounds like because last night or the previous episode of this very program, I was re-entering that mode. And in fact, a couple of days ago, I had a sinus headache. They last for about an hour. Ridiculously frustrating. But several months ago, I had gotten the Nasal Fresh, trying it out. At the time, there was a barrage of advertising. So I know on Android and then probably on iPhone as well, like every advertisement that showed up was for a Nasal Fresh MD, and they have these horrible commercials that show all manner of, like green sludge. Like it's not like that. Honestly, I've described it. It looks like you've spit into the exit tank. So the water comes out, it's drawn out, and it's placed into a little reservoir, and you dump that out when you're done. Rinse it out, and you're ready for next time. And it just looks like you've spit in it a couple times. So it's not sludge and whatever else they put in their commercials. But either way, I was pretty amazed. So when I first got it, I was doing it every day, twice a day, morning, night. I was using was it two? I was using one of the supplied saline or salt packets in a distilled water to make a little saline solution. And after, I'm going to say I think after a full week, so like 10, 14 times, I was impressed after the first day, but I was like, wow, I feel like this is cured. It wasn't quite, but I did it for a couple weeks, and it really did make a positive impact. So of course, it becomes one of those like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow, or I'll do it tonight, or I'll do it in the morning, or whatever, and you kind of blow it off. And of course, the symptoms return, and of course, a lot of coursing here. And of course, it has a negative impact on my ability to speak and sleep. Even more important, sleeping. Sleeping is important. So, but the downside is that the saline solution, if you make it strong, which you can, you just vary the amount of salt. So you can get sterile salt packets, pretty cheap. I mean, in the scheme of things, well worth the money. Say it's, I think they're like 20, 25 cents each. Maybe less, depending on if you get bulk or something. I think I got a pack of 100 at Walgreens for like $20, maybe. I think something like that. So anything will do. The reservoir for the input side is just a little water tank. It's got an oval shaped lid on the top. You pop it off. You dump the salt in there. Put some distilled water. It's important not to use tap water. You never know what's in the tap water, no matter where you are. So distilled water, I've never measured it, but it's probably like 250 milliliters or something like that. So, because I did actually figure out what the molarity was, so I could, it was when I was calculating what the molarity would be for a gallon based on some salt packets I had. So they were not the ones that came with the Nasal Fresh. But I said, okay, I want whatever the molarity I was going for to match so at a gallon, right? Yeah. So if I was putting one packet of salt into some volume of water, what would it be for a gallon? And it turned out I had to put 16 of these packets into a gallon of water, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, you can vary the molarity, you can vary the strength of the saline solution. Sometimes I was using 2 of these packets in this little reservoir, so it was super strong, and I started finding that it was a little bit irritating, and I thought that was maybe time to back off a little bit. So then I usually use 1 salt packet unless I'm really suffering with an infection or something, which I have not recently, which is good. But occasionally, especially now so I haven't had it through an allergy season, so I didn't get it that long ago. So now that the allergy season is very clearly upon us, the weather has changed. It's very hot. It was raining last week a lot. So we're all over the place on the dust, and then what's in the air and what's not in the air and what's now on the ground and so on. So I've definitely had a turn back toward sinus irritation, certainly. And again, I had a sinus headache a couple days ago. So the time is at hand to revisit a daily nasal fresh regimen. And like I said, it's a piece of cake. So I put this salt in there. I actually have this this sort of clove solution. It's called alcohol. You can get it on Amazon too. Maybe at some point I'll put an affiliate link to that too. But either way, saline works fine. I basically use 1 packet of salt and this alcohol stuff, and that sort of has a mentholated effect. It's not menthol, but it's similar to kind of it kind of feels better in my sinuses. That it feels like they are a little bit cleaner, if you like. Anyway, so do that. It takes a few minutes. It can be a little bit messy because you're shooting salt water up your nose. It's coming out. You're going to be occasionally it'll run, out the into your mouth. How about that? It'll run through depending on the orientation of your head. It'll drip back in the back there. When you remove the thing from your nose, there's obviously going to be salt water that flows out a little bit. So I cannot say that it is a completely dry and clean and easily managed experience. The value proposition is a piece of cake, no question. Absolutely worthwhile. Totally works. The device is like $100, $100 well spent. I wish I would have discovered this like 30 years ago. But yeah, it's just one of those things. You have to do it. And so I've mentioned the Amazon Vine program. I ordered for free a diatomaceous earth sort of drying rack. It's not a rack so much, but it's just like several pieces of the diatomaceous earth, which is super absorbent, natural materials. You can look up what diatomaceous earth is. So I need to spread that out on my bathroom counter, and then I'll place this device among other things on it. So that way, if it leaks a little bit or if water, because when you take the thing that goes in your nose and you put it down to, you blow your nose or dry yeah, it's salt water. It ends up in extra places on your bathroom counter. So to be able to use the device and have the diatomaceous earth, it's not a drying rack. It's more like a drying surface. So I'll just place it on there. Any water that it'll spill will land on there. It gets basically absorbed really quickly and then evaporates, dries over time. So it's a pretty good deal. So, but I will say, I'm not only speaking, so my voice, you can hear my voice goes down a little bit deeper. You can still hear there's a little bit of sinus action going on there, or I should say, I don't want to gross anybody out, but you know what's going on. So that will abate over time. So I haven't done it yet this morning. I'll do it real quick in the morning, do it at night before I go to bed. The impact on sleep is pretty, it's even better than your voice. The sleeping part, you don't stop breathing. Now my sinuses go so nuts sometimes that if I'm laying down on my bed, probably, and depending on how my head is oriented, I will literally start to choke, not kidding, on sinus byproducts. So I gotta yeah, no fun. Definitely a negative impact in general on sleep quality, the ability to speak on the phone if laying down. So depending on the orientation of my head, I might have to be like, hold on, which is kind of amazing, right? Like, I can't believe this actually gets that awful. But there you go. And then life in general, I mean, even if I'm not speaking, even if I'm not sleeping or trying to speak while I'm on my bed, so horizontal-ish head orientation. Life in general is just better if we can breathe better. Breathing is one of those things. We do it all the time. We don't even think about it until you have to think about it. Occasionally, I will have what we like to call a stuffed nose. So occlusion. I can't. One nostril is out. So you basically take the device and you flip it back and forth. So, because you do anyway. You do in left, out right, and then you flip it around, like flip it 180 degrees so that the input side is in the other nostril. So in left, out right, in right, out left. I usually do that twice each. So in left, in right, in left, in right. Done. That's usually filled or uses up the available water. That can actually clear your nose too. So not only is it flushing your sinuses out specifically, but it's also helping to clear out, obstruction. And the alcohol, I find, helps to kind of relax the entire flow way. So there you go. That is, I think it makes a difference. You tell me if this sounds any better. And again, this was one iteration. I'll do it again today. I'll do it again tonight. So I'll do it all through the week, every day. And we'll see what the impact is. And I'll probably mention it here in the next episode as well. So be ready for that. And again, the affiliate link, why not? If you suffer from any sinus issues like this, it has been a godsend. I hate to even go that far, but it has been quite amazing. And you can't beat the price. Now, I will tell you one thing that they would have to redesign in the face of recent airline changes and whatnot. I have no idea. Now, maybe it'd be like a CPAP machine. So if you're going through, because you never want to pack that if you're traveling. This is where we're going with this. If you are traveling and you have a CPAP machine, if you require one of those to sleep safely, sleep apnea and whatnot, you don't want to pack it in your luggage, because if your luggage goes astray, you might find yourself in a difficult situation. So you put the CPAP machine in your carry-on luggage, and they probably expect those things, so they know what it is. I don't know what happens if you bring a nasal fresh device in your carry-on luggage. So if I was going to travel somewhere, that's something I would definitely want to check on, because you don't want to be like when I went to China, I brought a neti pot and I used it frequently. I wasn't sure how they would take that because it is only salt water, but this device has a battery, a rechargeable, so lithium-ion battery internally. I assume it's lithium-ion. Actually, I assume it is. I mean, really, people don't use nickel metal hydride or nickel cadmium anymore. It would be nice if they'd use nickel metal hydride in this. But if it is a lithium-ion battery, which I assume it is, you can't really put that in your carry-on luggage anyway, so you're bringing a rechargeable battery pack of sorts. And it looks like an odd machine, so it would be very easy for some TSA person to say, what is this? Oh, it's from Die Hard. It mixes the two liquids together. No. So that will be interesting. Anyway, maybe you can hear it. I can feel it. I'm going to need to do another cycle this morning. So we're coming up to the end of this episode for today. Keep it short. I will also mention, I want to do, so I've talked about reaction videos for movies. I kind of want to do a list of the people that I think are really good at it and worth watching. But I'm thinking I also might want to just start doing a couple of lists of things, not because that's exciting and life-changing, but because I think it's too easy to throw up, if you're a blogger from the old days, it's too easy to throw up a blog roll or a listicle, an article where I just mention, here's a list of things, or here's a list of my favorite movie reactions, or here's the list of YouTubers that I follow. But to include some commentary and whatnot. So, because some of the stuff that I consume, I think is valuable. It can be fun. It can be distracting from the chaos of LA and whatever else is going on in the news. I mean, who even wants to look at the news at this point? Although you kind of have to know what's going on. But there's so many other things. One of the things I want to do here in Vegas is some way to make it easier to locate content creators who are doing some really good work. I mean, they're getting paid for their work, but they're doing really informative work for people who come here to Vegas, because there's just so much going on. There's so many restaurants, so many entertainment options, so many kid-friendly options, so many fill in the blank, right? So a lot of people are doing interesting content. Not all of it's good. I watched one guy do a review of his stay at the Stratosphere, and when he's on camera, he just looks like he's unimpressed by everything. Now, maybe that's his shtick. I don't know. I'd never seen him before. But there are some people that are doing really interesting work, and it is for money, so good for them. They all get paid for product placement or mentions, or the LVCVA, the Convention and Visitors Authority, pays them for helping to promote the city, or whatever the case is. Who knows? So there's some good content. So anyway, there are lists of things that I think would be interesting. So that's something I may try out and see how it goes. But anyway, okay. But anyway, I know I say that too often. So, and but anyway, I have to remove those from my speaking diet. That's all I'm going to say for today, though. Nasal Fresh, affiliate link in the links. I'm going to add it to my Buy Me an Update link, affiliate link collection, and we'll see what happens. So there you go. Thank you for listening, and thank you. If you want to make a comment on the difference, if you happen to hear this and the previous episode and you compare and you say, oh yeah, that is a difference. But I will do this every day, twice a day, get back on that program and see if that, and then I don't do it twice a day for forever. I do it twice a day. Then I back off to once a day. Then I back off to about once every 2 days and see how that goes. So here I was just simply, I had gone a couple of weeks without doing it, like 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. It should be 2 days, not 2 weeks. It absolutely works. It's not that much trouble. Why am I not doing it as frequently as I need to? Because I'm dumb. But that's where I'm going to leave it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for noticing any difference and commenting on it if you like. And we'll catch you on the next episode and you can compare yet again. Take it easy.